All right, here we got a room that I'm working on. Got some work to do. We want this AC to work. And the first thing you do before you start taking these apart, drain your water out from the back plugs. You got one there and a twist off one here with a rubber seal. Clean your filters. I got a hidden one here, so you gotta take this one out first and then you can pull the other one out the other way. But the most important thing, make sure it's level. Grab yourself a level. That one's too big. And make sure your floor is level that you put it on. That's the most important thing. If these are not level, they will not evaporate the water and send it out the pipe. All right? The other thing is, put it as close to a window as possible. If you can go straight out, awesome. If not, do a little S pattern. Just one curve. All right? Hey guys, we got a portable air conditioner today. I've had this one for 4 or 5 years, and it is just pissing out water all the time. It's still working, but here we go. We got our drain here. This is the drain right down there. You're supposed to drain them every once in a while. They do build up water if you're running them a lot. And first thing we're gonna do, let's take these covers off. We got Phillips head screwdrivers everywhere. I got my drill out with my Phillips head bit in there. We're gonna start taking it apart. I took the filter out first. It's a little filter that comes in through the back here. And look at all this. See all that cat hair? Stupid cats. That might just be our problem, or one of our problems. We got another filter right here. But I've cleaned it before, and it was having problems last year with water leakage. And a lot of times it's a clogged pipe, drain pipe somewhere, leaking out the water. So let's get the cover taken apart. In any case, we'll get her all cleaned up, back to working normal. There we go. We got the back off. Just zip those screws out. Back came right off. And the wiring right here was tucked nice and tidy in these little hooks. There was a little clamp right here with 2 small Phillip heads. Take that out and we can push our cord further away so that the cover's not right next to us here. We see a little rust and moisture there, a little moisture down there. There were some chunkies of stuff here, like this. Look at that. Little chunky chunks. All right, now I wanna try to take the front cover off. I'm gonna lay it down. We got this control panel here, and it looks like it just slides back. See the little hooks? So it's gonna slide back out this way for us. Front cover's off. There was only 2 screws left holding it in. I got my filter out of there. So it came right off. Our control panel had a little stick of glue on 2 of the tabs. Just broke it free with a flat head and it came right out. Then we got a sensor right here, and that plugged into the side of the board there. I unplugged it just so I can grab this guy and just get it right out of the way. You can see how nasty it is. Pretty gross. Got a little rust coming off there. First thing I noticed after taking the cover off, right here's our float switch. I don't know anything about AC. I know car ACs, but you don't have to be a genius to know that this is a float. And it was sticky, and I worked it. I just kept going like this, and now it's not so sticky. So it's supposed to shut off before it overflows with water and spills it all over your carpet. And that is a float switch right there. You can hear it click. That's where it would send a signal to the circuit board, and it would give you a code on your control panel, like whatever. The code means drain or something. There we go. We got to clean this up so that switch works again. And look for any cracks or anything that would make the water leak and not fill up in there. I might run it for a while with the cover off just to see where the water builds up at. All right, guys, I left it running for a while. Came back down to take a look at it. So this tray right here is filling up with water. And then it's running off the side into this tray right here, full of water. See, that's totally full. Whereas the tray it's supposed to go in, see, this is one big tray that goes all the way back there and around. This is just a little baby tray that it's all going into. So it's all flowing off of that way instead of going into the big tray. But we're producing what seems to be a lot of water. And it's piling up in this tray. And there should be, from my experience with this kind of work, some tube that brings it straight down to this tray, or some sort of drain method. Let's get to cleaning it. It is producing, let's get to cleaning it. It is producing a lot of water. What's up? All right, we got it all taken apart. This copper will bend a little bit. Don't bend it too much. There was a little extra slack. We can look down in there. All right, there was a bunch of crud in here, like this brown stuff. It's just gooey, nasty stuff. And there's a hole right there. You see that hole? It goes down all the way to a hole in there. See where my finger's pointing? I know my camera won't focus on it. Anyways, I'm assuming that little booger is clogged up. And also, there was another drain right here. It's a drain that has a stopper in it. That's just was full of gunk. Still has some gunk. I just pulled some of it out. So this is gonna get a nice cleaning. We're gonna run some compressed air through that hole. Make sure it blows out down here where it goes. Get everything cleaned up and put everything back together. I probably didn't have to take it apart this far, but I just wanted to check out how everything worked and how everything was looking. So yeah, we're gonna clean it all up and put it all back together. This control panel came off just with a couple screws up top. We're gonna put this back in its slot. You could tell that water was pooling up and it wasn't draining anywhere because look at all the rust on both sides. It was just pooling up in here. So I guarantee that little sucker is plugged up. So we're gonna run the compressed air through there, maybe some cleaner, put it all back together. We should be good to go. Let's see. Side notes before I put it back together. This does in fact turn the machine off. So this float rises and shuts the machine off, but it has to be in the upward position for like 10 seconds before it shuts the machine off and gives the FL code. So that does work. We're gonna get that cleaned up and so that it actually floats. I'll pour some water in there to make sure that the float is working. Other side notes, it's been extra humid in Michigan, and that's gonna collect more water. If it's really hot and humid and you're running a lot, you are gonna fill up with water. Sometimes you can go the whole year without draining it. If you live somewhere without high humidity, you won't even have a problem at all. But you can hook up a drain hose to this. You can clamp a hose on there and make it run downhill to somewhere so that you never have to drain it. Another side note, how these are supposed to run is the water collects in here and the heat evaporates it out the exhaust duct, out the window. So it evaporates the water so that it doesn't fill up very often. Now the other thing I noticed is this. This is a little protector. And this is where the coldness comes from. So you'll get your condensation here. And I think this is being counterproductive because it is now sagging down right here and sending it straight down. So that's supposed to protect it. And I don't like it. I want it to stay flush and not humping down over the fan. I think I'm just gonna take that off. Here we go, guys. This AC unit has brought this attic down to 65 degrees and no water on the floor. So far so good. Before, it would start pouring out water really fast. I've had this running for like 6 hours. It's all good.